Welcome to Leadership Labs. I'm Louise and Maurice, leadership mentor and creator of the Academy for Holistic Leadership. In Lab 4, you learn by applying your skills in real-world practice, strengthening your ability to lead with clarity, confidence, and grounded presence in everyday situations. All the resources I mention in this professional training are free and linked in the description below. Let's get started. In this lecture, we'll focus on step number 5, 5 minutes, the phrasing to end session number 3. Remember to follow the steps to download the PDF document where I have all of the phrasing mapped out. We're using the now, next, new, my 3-part method for starting and ending a session. Well, this ends it. And it's important to end it in a positive way. Remember, we've been building up your client, the oxytocin, and getting them to feel good, to anchoring in those good feelings, those good empowered feelings. Well, now they know how to team up their confidence and really developing that inner team of character traits, of values that are truly going to support them moving forward. And it's those forward-thinking values that they want to connect with. They want to rebuild that inner world. And that is what you just helped them do. Next. The next session on, you enter the date and time. Now, you might be talking to a group of people. It doesn't matter. The date and time is the same because if you're using this as a group coaching program, then it is the same date, same time. And this is where when you develop the schedule with a group session, you're just giving them the date and time. This is when you show up, getting that payment up front. They've already paid, they've already invested. And as we continue on, I will talk to you about pricing so that you are familiar with what you choose to charge. I will give you some suggestions and recommendations. But letting them know this is when we are meeting next. Great. Number 3. The next, the new email that I'm going to send you, the new email. And that lets them know, right, we've got a new session. I've got a new prep email. I'm going to send it to you. Have a look at that. Be prepared for your next session. And this is, I love this because it showcases you as a professional. Professionals are prepared. And you don't have to make it difficult. It's very, very simple. And again, the way that you end the session, it might be 5 minutes, it might be a couple of minutes, especially if you went over on any of the steps, but you always want to keep it to the 40 minutes. That way people know how they can schedule their day. You always want to be aware of that. All right, as we continue on in the next lecture, I will talk to you about your level 1 prep. Very important. It's non-mandatory, but highly recommended because the more professional that you are in sharing this program, the more confident you become. Let's continue. You have just been walked through the training for session number 3 as well as the steps. Take this opportunity, even though it's non-mandatory, I highly recommend that you go through all of the steps. You coach yourself, you get familiar with the online resource, answer the questions, and then determine if there's any adjustments that you want to make. And then when you're comfortable, you can go and coach family and friends. That's level 1. This is your practice. Because I want you to think about your confidence coaching as you're an entrepreneur. You are an entrepreneur. And I want you to have that sense of determination. I am determined to make this happen. I am determined. And if I'm going to have to persuade anyone about this confidence coaching, it's probably myself. That's the only person I need to persuade. I want you to be thinking this way. Because when you persuade yourself and when you implement this program and you get results, then you are a living example of the benefits of the program that you've been taught to use. And that's where you become, wow, when people know you and now you're doing the things that you want to do, they're saying, well, what's your secret? Well, I took this training by Louise and Maurice at Get Results Coach Academy, and it's her Get Results Confidence Coaching Program. And I was able to do all of this. I never had that confidence. Now I understand so much more. And they're like, wow, where do I sign up? You become your best persuasion. I always say you're a results role model. And yes, you're being able to be adaptable because some clients, they might need you to guide them to be confident in this area or that area. You just switch up the questions to suit them. But I've developed these questions so that they are applicable for any area. And that's when you build your confidence, when you can truly stand there and say, I am a living example of the confidence coaching program that I guide people through. And they will see the difference in you, and that is all that matters. And I want you to feel that, because that is truly what's going to make a difference for you. But again, you can move through each of the lectures, the video lectures of this course first, and then come back and go through the program yourself, level 1, and then choosing a client for level 2. But I'll talk more about that toward the end of the course, the last section of the course. All right, when you're feeling comfortable with all that, let's continue. In the next section, we're going to focus on session number 4. Let's look at your lab report for Module 3, Lab 4, the Team Up Lab Report. Now, you had an opportunity to, in Lab 1, you met our case study, understanding what's impacting her confidence. And as you've been moving through each of the steps of session 3 for your training, it's module 3, this is now an opportunity for you to apply what you've learned. Because I always say, when you can come from that place of, I've done this, I've lived this. You are not just telling people that you help them get results. You are embodying that. So we talked about embodying during Lab 3 when you were introduced to the Avatar tool. Well, yes, now there are so many other tools that you can use, but remember, it's the anchoring, it's applying the NLP procedure, the technique that we've been focused on, that anchoring. And when you have people using all of their senses and really engaging, and they are building that avatar from the ground up, they're connecting with it. And as I'd mentioned, using all of the character traits, the emotions, everything that they want to move away from and move toward. So that's what I want you to do with this lab report. We need you to make a difference, to join the movement, to get involved. So open the avatar tool, use the link provided in the vault. I have it on that PDF document for Lab 4. And then I want you to design your leader self. Actually, the avatar would be on the PDF document for Lab 3. But design your leader self by choosing traits that feel slightly new but authentic, such as a more authoritative posture or a calmer facial expression. And we say slightly new because we don't want to have that dissonance. And this is where, with your lab report for this module, designing your leader self, What does your lab report say? Well, that's where the dissonance check comes in. Does this avatar feel like you or a lie? And we talked about that when I was providing you with the insight because you never want to lie. Many times, well, fake it till you make it. The problem is, inside and when you are not connecting with it, then the default confidence or lack of confidence will show up. Whenever you get a comment or you're triggered, it's the default reactions that show up. So that's where the dissonance check. Does this avatar feel like me or is it a lie? And I want you to adjust until you feel a 10% stretch in your confidence. And then share. Share your lab report results. Remember, if you're subscribed to the at Louise and Maurice YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, you can share your answers, receive feedback, and interact with the community. Thank you for completing this Confidence Coaching Leadership Lab. Every skill you practice here strengthens your ability to lead with clarity, confidence, and grounded presence in real-world situations. If you'd like to continue developing your human-centered leadership and coaching skills, you'll find additional resources, leadership labs, and professional training. Links in the description below. I appreciate you being here and investing in your growth as a leader.